Okay guys, so this is my first long distance ride for the new year, and I do long distance rides at least once a month, sometimes 2 or 3 times. I do a whole century at least once a month, sometimes 2 or 3 times, and I managed to get 13, 14, 15th century rides in a year. And that's kind of been my thing I've been doing, I guess, for the past few years. And I love it. I love being out all day on my bike. I love pedaling all day. I'm staying with zone 2, maybe zone 3. Probably don't hit zone 4 much or any. And definitely don't hit zone 5. I have done those days where I push myself to zone 4 and 5 at the end of my ride, going up some steep hills or something, but that's rare. It's not the normal. The normal is just to get the 100 and keep pedaling, not take any long stops, not do anything really crazy as far as keeping a super high pace. I'm riding my gravel bikes, you guys, and I'm riding bikes with bigger tires and bikes that are, you know, not really lightweight racing road bikes that could go fast. I mean, they can go fast. The gearing could be set up to fast gearing, but my gearing is set up to, if I was in a pace line, I could pace at 20 with this gearing, but I probably couldn't pace much beyond that. I definitely wouldn't be able to pace at 28. It just doesn't have the bigger chain ring. So, and I do solo. I'm doing all the headwind riding myself. There's no drafting, and there's none of those advantages of being in a pack, because as you guys know that if you're riding with a group, a nice pack of 4 helps. It helps you go farther easier, because you're able to draft, you're able to pace line, and you're able to kind of take your time to you know, rest and draft, and then go back in the lead the pace line, so on and so forth. Last year I think I managed to ride with a couple groups a couple times for 10 miles or so, but I never did anything like a planned group ride. I should probably try that. It would be fun. And it's nice. It's a nice hobby. Thank you. It's a nice hobby to have a group of riders to ride with. And the main thing is that you all are at the same fitness level. It's a little bit of a drag if you're with a group and they're leaving you in the dust, or you're leaving them in the dust, if you're spread apart like that as far as fitness level. Here in SoCal we have some really fit people. We even have some pros that ride this trail, a lot of triathletes and so on and so forth, that are very serious, and they're very fast. So back to riding for fitness, because I want to expand on that a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the fact that got a lot of comments that I guess people with e-bikes wanted to justify themselves and tell me that you still get a workout It's so good for you. And some people even objected to my theory that keeping your intensity for as long as you can and not letting things get marginalized or easier is the key to longevity, key to living longer. And that's just not me saying that. That's physicians saying that. The one very famous physician, Dr. Peter Attieri, I don't know exactly how to say his last name, but he wrote the book Longevity, and he has a podcast, and he's a surgeon that's seen a lot of things, and now he does precision medicine. And that's coming from him and his smarter scientific mind, stating that having those high intensity zone 4, zone 5 workouts once a week is good for you. It keeps your body resilient, it keeps you healthy because it keeps working those muscles that you don't want to let atrophy. And I'm not talking about your quadriceps and your core muscles. I'm talking about your heart muscle, your vascular system, your lungs, those muscles, interstitial muscles and internal muscles that are necessary, and keeping that Krebs cycle, keeping that your organs, your kidney, your liver, your pancreas, all of those organs saturated with the stress and levels that it will get to by having yourself working and working out hard and having it adapt to that and be able to recover from that. So that's not me saying that, that's physicians. I'm a nurse, I'm not a physician, and nothing I say on my opinionated YouTube channel is meaningful to anybody but me. If you ask me, it's meaningless to everybody else because it should not be taken that seriously. This is a social media. This is not a textbook I'm writing for a university. This is none of that. It's not a research paper. This is just a random guy that doesn't even do journalism, doesn't do photography, obviously, doesn't do anything like that, just rants or talks during a YouTube video. And if you have an e-bike and you feel like you're getting a workout, good for you. Keep doing it. And yes, they can be taxing on your body. They can have intensity. Number one, if it's an e-mountain bike, it's heavy. Most e-mountain bikes are 40, 45, 55 pounds. If it's an e-gravel bike or an e-road bike, it's still heavy. In that spectrum of gravel and road bikes, where road bikes could be less than 20 pounds, gravel bikes could be right around the low 20s, but an e-road bike and an e-gravel bike is probably 30 pounds or high 20s. So they are heavier. And when you turn off the motor, you're moving more mass. You're moving something heavier. So there is that, okay? But there's a motor. There's a motor that instead of freewheeling, do you know what freewheeling is? I hope you do. This is freewheeling. I'm not pedaling at all. I'm not expending any energy. The bike is coasting. And so instead of freewheeling only occasionally when you have an e-bike, you could freewheel and do nothing but freewheeling if you wanted to, because anytime you have to engage or have to use your legs as a motor, you could be freewheeling and using your motor to get you through that point. Speaking of e-bikes, here we go. And getting out on an e-bike is fun. There is that fun factor that is probably more of a fun factor for more people than a regular bike, for the fact that you can have the fun, feel like you're going faster. You are going faster for the most part, keeping that forward momentum, and you're not dealing with, oh shit, I have to climb this hill and it's steep, I'm not sure if my bike has the gearing. So there's those different nuances, and you can climb the hill and turn off your motor or turn your motor to the lowest level. Good for you, and it's still a workout. So don't marginalize the fact that a regular bike is harder than an e-bike. I don't think anybody's actually saying that, but don't say that e-bikes are just as good, because I will oppose that on my opinion basically and say that they are not. I will say that they're intrinsically easier because they have a motor, and as long as that motor is working, they will remain easier. As long as you're using a motor, it'll be easier. So that's where I'm going to land this conversation, and get out there and ride under your own power. Keep those workouts going as you age. Don't let up. Do a century, do a long distance ride, do some hill training, do some intervals, do whatever you can do that you can consistently do, and keep your fitness. Because the worst thing you could do is nothing. So if an e-bike is going to keep you from doing nothing, then go for it. But that is the worst thing, negligence, and letting your body go years without getting into zone 4, zone 5, even zone 3. And when you find out that you should have been working out harder is when you're taking a treadmill test with your cardiologist, and he's telling you, well, as soon as you get up to zone 3, I'm seeing all these problems with your heart. You don't want to get to that level. Believe me, you do not want to get to that level, because it's really hard to come back from that, and you will never come back 100%. Perhaps there's a small percentage of people that do come back 100%. Perhaps those people have major cardio surgeries. Perhaps they get a pacemaker, but I don't think you want to go through that. I wouldn't, and I'll end it at that.